Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. It's a warm welcome. And I'm here to talk about the child protection system, which is found in every state and every county. It may have different names. Like in Los Angeles County, California, it's Department of Children and Family Services. Next door in Orange County, California, it's called the Child Protection um, Services. In Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children's Services. In Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. Anywhere there is a county or a state, and there's counties in the state, like California has 50 counties, North Carolina has 100 counties. But every state has counties, and every county will have a child protection system with all different names. So to make it simple, when I'm referring to this government entity, I'm referring to CPS. So if I say CPS, it means the Child Protection System in every county and every state. It's also worldwide. Every city in every country will have a child protection system. Again, it's different names. And we are internationally broadcasting, so anybody that has the internet will pick it up. That's why I encourage people from not only from the United States, from around the world, to come in, listen, talk, participate, and I'll try to help you. I've reached out to a lady in South Africa who's been needing my help. Her name is Leica, and she's 40 years old, and her son was abused by a pedophile, and the government in South Africa is not doing anything about it. She's very emotional, very upset about it, as most of you are. I'm here to calm your fears. I've been talking to CPS since 2000. I've been fighting CPS since 2010. That's over 15 years. And in 2015, three of my six children were removed. They were trafficking and kidnapped into foster care. I'm one of those victims. I've talked to over 3,000 people from 26 countries. Now, one of the first things you can do while I'm waiting as people come in is to text me a message and I will help you. All I ask you is to make a comment or a question about CPS. You just give me your name and your location. You're outside of the United States, put down your country. And I'll answer it or help you as best as I can. I've talked to over 3,000 people, so I have a lot of information to share with you. I too was a victim. I lost my forever home. I lost one of my six children, only two were returned, the three that were stolen. And I can't seem to get work because of my experience in CPS. It's hindering me getting jobs. Now, I have 43 years of marriage experience. I've helped raise six children. And I've been working for 61 years in a lot of different fields. I also have a lot of life skills that I can help you with. A lot of different life skills. And one of them is CPS and how to fight them, how to combat against them. So it's a warm welcome. We had a bunch of you in here, and I know some people said hello. And there you, hi. I think you are Andrea from Illinois, from Chicago, Illinois. Is that who I'm asking about? There you. Some of you have some unusual names. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. I'm sorry, there you. I hear you. I hear you. Hello, in Tennessee. Glad to see you. And I have here you is Andrea from Chicago, Illinois. I hope I'm remembering everybody. What can I do when the caseworker lies in court? Well, when the caseworker lies, that's one of the hardest things you're going to have to do is you got to get with your attorney and prove that she lied. She committed perjury. If a caseworker commits perjury, you can sue that agency and that caseworker. You can make it a civil lawsuit if she lied under oath. Mine did lie, and my attorney caught her in the lie, and we could sue her. But the downside was it takes money to sue. It isn't for free. You know, attorneys aren't for free, and that's sad. That's sad, Step, because I know most of you are strapped for money. What's new, Aaron? I'm so glad you're here. Soma Cap Queen. All right, Queen. From your knowledge, how long does it take to hear back from the judge after a facts-finding hearing? Well, I would say, from my experience in talking to various people, it should be within the week. It should be within the week. Now, Andrea, who's I hear you from Chicago, Illinois, says she's saying I didn't complete the services, but I did. Well, if you complete the services, do you have your documentation? You can enter that into court. All your certificate of your parenting classes that you completed, all the certificates of the programs that you attended. Um, you know, all your documentation where you wrote down, you know, all the things that you did, all the things required, and what the proof. You need to prove that into court, and you should be able to enter it into court. Have your attorney did that. She's also the social worker telling the service providers that I've been charged with assault with a rifle. Well, do you have a criminal charge? Has the district attorney in Chicago, Illinois charged you with a criminal charge? Do you have a criminal matter? Have you had your arraignment for a charge shooting with a rifle? That is done by the district attorney, not by CPS. That's done by the district attorney. The policeman reports it, then he investigates it, then it's turned over to the district attorney, will file a crime against you, have you appear at judge for your arraignment. That's where you have to plead guilty or not guilty. And that's also a jury trial. CPS does not do jury trials. Only criminal cases do jury trials. I'm sorry to hear that, Andrea. Um, you don't own a gun? Well, then that's fine. They need to prove that you did. Hello, Christina Reynoso. It's so good to talk to you today, and I saw you the emails. I got both of them. Thank you so much. It's tremendous what you're saying. There's just a couple mistakes in there. I'll let you know. They're not important. They're not important. Now, Aaron in Tennessee says they do what they want to. That's agreed. Mine lied as well, and my paid attorney allowed her to do so. Well, you had the wrong attorney to begin with, and that was sad. That was really sad. Now, Samoa Jack Queen, I don't know where you're from. You're Courtney. That's a nice name, Courtney. And you're from Marion County, Indianapolis, Indiana. You're dealing with the Hannock County in Indiana as well. Wow. That's a hard county to deal with. So hard to see you do that. Now, Queen says, mine even admitted to lying in front of one of my providers when she came to visit. Wow. You should record it. You should document it. Aaron says, mine said I didn't complete mine as well. She and my lawyers had all the documentation. Well, that should have been shown to the judge, Aaron. That should have been done. Now, Queen says her response was, I had to know that CPS attorney coached everybody. Well, I believe that. I'll believe that. And then, well, if you had no charge for the gun, um, I hear you, then you should not have a criminal case about a gun. You don't have any charges, that's hearsay. CPS cannot do criminal charges. Oh, she's spreading rumors. That's bad on CPS's fault. You can get her for that, by the way. If she's causing slander, that's suable in a civil lawsuit. Slander is. I believe you don't have the gun. You don't have to convince me. And Queen in Indiana said that she lost her 3 kids because they kept telling me that I do not complete their services, and it was because they did not receive documentation. I complete everything, and they'll keep my case open. All you need to do is resubmit the documentation in court and to CPS. Show them the completed documentation that you have. Show it is completed. Queen also says, finally, my sister and I agree that she would just take custody of my kids so that we get our case closed. That's good. That's another way of doing it. I had my son a month early, and they came to emergency removal in the hospital. I was clean and sober, and the still allegation of drug use. I gave them 3 drug screens a week. Not even 3 weeks later, they showed up at my house again with allegations of domestic violence and without warning took my son again. Well, first of all, you know you're not allowed to let them in your home. Your home is your castle. Your front door is a drawbridge. When your home is closed, you don't allow any strangers in your home. You learn that really early on, that you don't allow strangers in your home. You should not let family members allow strangers in your home. You never know how bad that person is. Policemen have shot people and killed them on the spot by allowing them to come in their home. CPS workers have marched in and taken away children. You don't open the door to strangers. You keep quiet, stick to the back part of the house, and wait for them to leave. And then you come out later, maybe it's an hour later, and then you have to see what they left behind. Hopefully, it was a business card. If they left nothing behind, then I wouldn't worry about it until they send you something in writing or come again. And that is a good time for you to look into an attorney. You should have an attorney aboard at the very onset so that your rights can be protected. You have civil rights and constitutional rights. And it's very important that they're addressed. And it's sad what parents have to go through. But child abuse, there are supposedly 1,000 cases a day go unreported. But over half of the reported cases by professionals and 80% by lay people, they're not real, not really. They're fraudulent reports. 80% of lay people are bad. Only 20% are reliable reports. And of the professional, 50%. It's a 50-50 deal. Now, who are these professionals? Well, they're supposed to be hired by the social services, the Department of Children's Services, who deal with protection of our children from neglect and from abuse. That's who is supposed to protect our children. But lately, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can get a fake license and do a fake setup. So you got to be really careful. You got to be really, really careful. Wow. That is hard, my queen. That's really hard. Okay, you're going to send my email to me. Let me put my email up because many of you may not have it right. I found that out here. Let me see where it is. There is my email. That's Bob, no dot P at VincentWDavis.com. Bob P at VincentWDavis.com. That's my email. Now I have someone new here called Larato C. Chashabala. You're again from South Africa. Well, glad to meet you. You're what my 4th person from South Africa that I've met. And I'm so glad. There's another person named Leica that comes on my show. So I'm glad you dropped in, Larato. And how can I help you about your CPS case from South Africa? And Andrea, who is I Hear You from Chicago, Illinois, explain constitutional rights that we have when they come to one's door. Well, you have a right to refuse entry of anybody except for three ways. One, you or a family member give permission, they can enter. Two, there's noise coming from the household that someone's in help or being hurt, especially a child. They can break in the house. Three, if they have a warrant, but if you're in the house, you won't see the warrant. You just don't answer the door. You be very quiet and wait for them to go away. Anytime you're involved with a legal matter, you're entitled to be represented by a, so you have to have time to get your attorney aboard. They don't know if you don't have an attorney, but you just tell them, I have an attorney and I'll meet with you when I get my attorney together. Because by your constitutional rights, you're allowed to have an attorney. And if you can't afford one be appointed for one. And that is from all legal matters from the onset. All legal matters. Does that kind of help you a little bit? See, the person that asked that question was that's your constitutional rights. That's one of your constitutional rights. Anyway, Queen says, I had a finding on September 30th, and the judge still does not give his verdict on which side he's taken. Well, that should be enough time. Today is now almost November 30th. That's 2 months old. There's something wrong there. What you need to do is ask your attorney to help you. Now, I don't know what kind of attorney you guys are having. If they're attorneys you hired, you're paying for them, so they need to work for you. If it's a court-appointed attorney, very likely they're not going to work for you because they're controlled by CPS. They're controlled by CPS. Now, Queen says from Indianapolis, I know that I can get a judgment filed against him to answer. I know that I can have my attorney file a judgment. Yes, you can. Queen also says, however, when I talked to her last week, she told me that she will not do that because she does not want to upset the judge. Well, I don't know if this attorney is a hired attorney or a court-appointed attorney. If it's a court-appointed attorney, that's typical of court-appointed attorneys. They don't want to work for you. And you could tell them, if you don't work for me, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for negligence for not fighting my case. And I'm going to report you to the state bar. You just contact the capital of your state and ask if you want to file a claim against a lawyer. And you just fill out the claim, what it's about. They're unethical, they lied, they're not representing me, or whatever it is. But remember, if you hire an attorney, they're supposed to work for you. Now, if you have a court-appointed attorney, it's different. So I don't know what kind of attorney you got. And it won't upset the judge. If there's things the judge needs to know, he needs to know. We don't need to hide it from the judge. You're going to month 2. Well, you need to correct that. You need to get your attorney to write a response that you need a response. You should have a response within 7 days. There's no reason why they're taking forever. You're also doing a program called domestic violence therapy and mental health therapy, along with my visitation, my infant. Well, I'm so glad you're doing the therapy because that will help you with your case plan. I believe that the CPS manager lies. In your area in Indianapolis, they're called Department of Children's Services, DCS. But CPS does lie, and case managers do lie. They lie all the time. I know that. Now, Queen says, I put myself in these group sessions and therapy. CPS cannot prove that I needed their service, yet they're requesting I do domestic violence therapy through them. You can pick who you want to do your domestic violence, along if social services agrees to it, along if the child protection system agrees and accept it. You can do your own. You may have to pay a money or a fee. Now, I'm here you, and I don't know what you're saying yes to. Let me look up here the last question you had. Okay, you're asking for an explanation of constitutional rights and how they get in the door. So now you understand it. So you said yes. Lorato, you're new. Oh, you're from South Africa, Lorato. You're my fourth person from there. Okay, I'm glad you're back, Lorato. I'm glad you're back. That's great. Now, Queen says, when my therapist called the CPS case manager supervisor, she told her, I'm not complying with his services. I'm not court ordered to do anything yet. If it's your therapist, why is she playing bad to you? That's not good. I don't know what you mean by that. If you haven't seen a therapist, you're complying. And you're smart. You're ahead of the game, not doing anything that's court ordered. I did the same thing by doing things where I wasn't court ordered. Now, Queen says from Chicago, Illinois. Wait, now I'm confused. You're not from Chicago. You're from Indiana. That's right. I'm sorry. Oh boy, it's hard when you guys use the names are so different. Try to associate with your real name or a normal name thing in there. But anyway, you said when your therapist called, they should be on your side. They should not be going against you. And just right, you're not court ordered anyway there. Now, if you want to be a guest on my live stream, please pick one of my 14 shows. I have show times every day, weekdays at 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. In the evening at 7 p.m. Then on the weekends, it's 8 a.m. Saturday and Sunday and 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So those are my 14 shows. And I'm on no matter if it's a holiday or rain or sick or whatever it is, I'm still on there. And I do care about you. I do want to help you all with your case. As I say, I've helped raise 6 children. I have 43 years of marriage experience, and I have 61 years of working at a job. So I do care. I do care. Now, you send me the email to oh boy. You send it to my email, and it's Bob P at VincentWDavis.com. bobp@vincentwdavis.com. That's my email, bobp@vincentdavis.com. Now, I think I may have had it wrong there for a bit, but I think I fixed it now. And make sure to include your name, your phone number, and your email. And you just tell them I want to be a Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Saturday night show, or Bob's Friday morning show, Bob's Wednesday morning show, either night or day, one day of the week. It's all 14 shows. You can be on all 14. I can take up 9 of you. The rules are simple. We be very professional in the room and do not be against one another. We show respect. We only talk about CPS, not politics. We use no profanity. There's no eating or smoking on the show. We do not use the names of social workers, children, or judges. So that's all there is to it. You email me at bobp@vincentwdavis.com. bobp@vincentwdavis.com. Now, lastly, what I want to put on is my phone number. You can call me at 626-698-0990. And I gladly talk to you. I gladly talk to you. Lorato is from South Africa. Queen is from Indianapolis. Indianapolis, I forgot the city of there. Oh, shoot. Indianapolis, Indiana, at Hancock County. Okay. Then we have a person from South Africa who's been on before. Good morning, Pa, from Lorato. I think Lorato is from South Africa. I hear you as Andrea from Illinois. I'm glad you're back, Lorato. I really am. And Queen, I gave you my email, so you should be okay to go. Oh, you've been using a court-appointed attorney. I thought you hired an attorney. That's why he won't do anything against the judge. He's feeling retaliation. That's why you need to have a real attorney. Your court-appointed attorney will not fight for your case. It's really sad. I know that. I'm so sorry. Hi, Justin John. Justin Tom is Tony the Tiger, who is also known as Cassandra from Ostenago, New York. Good to see you. How was church earlier today? Cassandra, how was it? Now, Queen is saying May 3rd, I got my son back on May 7th. Well, what was May 3rd about? May 7th. Well, that's a while back, but I'm glad you got your son back, Queen. I thought you lost your son and that they were trying new criminal charges with you with a gun. I have emoji. I want to thank Christina Reynoso for the emoji. Thank you, Christina. Now, Queen says I already signed my ROIs as well. What is an ROI? I. What is ROI? What does that stand for? What does that stand for? ROIs, apostrophe S. Hi, Lisa. How you doing there, Bartley from Montana? You've changed your name a little bit more. It's L. Uh, J.33 Bartley. It used to be 54 Bartley. Whoa, boy. Anyway, hello, Lisa, and welcome. Bartley's been going through a lot, but she has her new heater in, propane heater. Hope it's keeping her warm. She has wood for a Firestone heater, and she's trying to get back her 5-year-old son, and she wants to do homeschooling, and they're giving her a hard time about that. I have no idea, Queen, what is ROI apostrophe S is. If you can tell me some. I'm doing terrible on these names pronunciation. I'm trying my best. But it seems like I'm fouling up on them. I don't know why, but I am. Uh, Cassandra says, or Tony the Tiger from Ostenago, New York says, release of information. I think she's saying in church was great. Um, okay. I knew you were at church today. You talked to me in my morning show and said hello. And Queen says, my first case, I took on all their services prior to court and they effed you bad times. The second time I got my son back by just doing drug schemes and he had nothing on me, the child's father. Well, that's good. That was abusive. They gave me my son back, but then reopened it was because they thought I was with him. Oh boy. It sounds like you had domestic violence with your partner or your husband, but you need to get a restraining order. You need to do what's called a restraining order, Queen, from Indianapolis. You need to do what's called a restraining order. I'm helping you guys out by trying to talk to you, by trying to answer your questions and your concerns. And when I say it's an international show, I have 26 countries, and South Africa is one of them, and I have many, many more. Now I have about 15 minutes left before my show will end. It ends right at 8 o'clock, so I got to end my show at 8 o'clock. Well, yeah, if you're in church, you should not be on your phone if you're in church because that's disgraceful to God. Why go to church if you're going to be on your phone? Um, I know that, Cassandra. I know what you're going through. I know you had your sound on mute, so I didn't hear anything after I said hi. This was this morning, like the pastor was delivering me a message straight from God. It's not something I should be smiling and happy about. But what? I have noticed those who have ganged up to target and terrorize me seem to be going through not so great times in the news. Through the bike is my parents are about to lose their home. That's good. What goes around comes around. I really believe that. The yin and the yang. Now, Queen says, my therapist called the CPS case manager supervisor because the case manager was lying in court about not receiving paperwork on substance abuse assessment, which in fact she did receive a week before. Well, I'm glad the therapist was helping you. It was a it was the CPS supervisor that lied and told my therapist I was not complying with any of the services yet I'm not required to do when they say I put in my place my services so I can prove that I go. Well, yeah, you need to prove your case. Now, Cassandra, Tony the Tiger, Justin John, I've noticed that those who've ganged up to target and terrorize me seem to be going through not so good times in the news through the bike and my parents are about to lose their home. That's good. Well, I don't think it's good that people lose their home. I lost my forever home and I regret it. I really do. My children are worth it and I'd do it again. I'd give my right or left arm for my children, for my family. Oh, I'm glad they did intervening. So that was good. That was good, Queen. Anyway, Cassandra, Tony the Tiger, Justice John has some good news. Good, not good. Sorry. I've been in the same home 2 years now, going to school. I get my oldest is in a GED program. Second child graduate this year has been accepted for 4 colleges, about to get us a car. Oh, I'm so glad to hear about that, Cassandra. That's good. Recorded my preventive worker when I had court and sending that video to a certain law firm providing some things that are going to help me get justice for my son. And I'll go with my appeal and family court. Well, those are all good news, Cassandra, Tony the Tiger, John Justice or Justice John. I'm glad you shared that with me on that. I'm glad you shared that with me. Okay. Okay. Let me this up then. John Justice, who is Tony the Tiger, who's Cassandra in New York, who told me about the good thing is about getting a car, but she further said she recorded my preventive worker when I had court and sent him that video to a certain law firm. That was good to get justice for my son. That will help. Nobody in my family graduated, so I'm breaking the cycle, refusing to conform, to refusing to be a statistic. So that's why I'm target. But God will always prevail, and God pays me. I pay all those to keep the same. God bless you, Cassandra. I'm here, you. That's Andrea from Chicago, Illinois. My caseworker won't take my substance abuse assessment because she said it was a self report. What kind is there? It's a report by a social worker. Excuse me, by a therapist. That's what it is, signed by a therapist. Yes, mental and faith, Tony the Tiger, Cassandra, mental and faith. And Lorato from South Africa. I need to go. I have to prepare for church talk to you tomorrow. Bye and love you all. All right, Lorato. I know it's already late. It's already the next day. It's the 23rd in South Africa. Thank you for all the hearts, Loreto. Uh, John Justice, there's something special about you where you ordered to comply with them and they want to know every detail of your life and they have to sign releases for everything outside the program. I know what you're saying, Cassandra. Release of information, Queen says from Indianapolis. And the Queen first says, I had to sign ROs so that way my providers would release information to, I don't know what an ROI is, a release of something. Anyways, can you answer me that question? With that note, I got to take my phone number down because no one is calling in. And I'm going to put up Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency website. Oh, we got a call at the last minute here. Okay. Good evening and welcome to my live stream. This is Bob Pace. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
It would be Jamie Clark.
Hi, Jamie Clark, and welcome. And what part of the world are you from?
I'm right here in Illinois.
Oh, are you Andrea, the same person I've been talking to on the show?
No, I just saw you just on your live.
Okay, well, I have Andrea, who's from Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. What city are you from in Illinois?
We're actually in Colorado.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome. And the sad part is, I'm getting ready to end my show in exactly 5 minutes, but I can talk to you again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. tomorrow night. But what can I help you with? What question do you have for me?
Do you know any much about the CPS?
I know a lot. I have been talking to people on here for over 2 years. I've talked to 3,000 people in 26 countries, and I too was a victim of CPS. So I have pretty good knowledge. Been fighting them for 15 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm very interested in talking with you.
Okay.
Mine's pretty. I wouldn't say it's really, really, really severe, but they're just upping my stuff. We're dealing with them, and
yeah, and you probably don't have funds to hire an attorney, and so you're helpless. I know what you're going through.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily we do have our children still.
Well, good. Hang on to them, and don't. What you here's you need to remember: don't let them in your home. Don't speak to them unless you have an attorney present. If you can't afford an attorney, they'll appoint you an attorney. But always make sure the attorney's present. Problem is, a court-appointed attorney won't be present because they're too busy. But you have to deal with them. You have to deal with them. Whatever you do, don't admit your guilt. Follow everything the judge tells you to do, and ask for as much visitation, whether it's by Zoom or whether it's by a supervisor, ask for much visitation as possible. That's really important.
Yeah, we have some kids, so we
Okay. Yeah, well, hang on to them. Be careful because they're going to try to take your kids. They are corrupt. They lie. 50% of CPSs are bad. You got a 50-50 chance that you got a decent one to work with. If they're doing, let you have your kids do family reunification. That's what you need to ask is family reunification.
What is that?
Family reunification is where you have a meeting with the social services and your attorney and discuss a case plan that outlines what you need to do. You may have to complete some parenting classes, some program classes of domestic violence, or a drug rehab program. I don't know what you've been accused of, either neglect, abuse, or both, and what the details are. But there are things you have to work with them. Also, if they're letting you keep your kids, they must not think that your kids are in danger. They're not supposed to take children that are in danger.
Yeah, the strangest thing is with my situation is it was allegations. My son's 15.
Oh,
And he
that's hard with teenagers. Teenagers have a
yeah,
tendency, when you crack down on them with the rules, they like to make up stories and they don't know CPS and they'll tell fibs. Their family, friends will tell fibs. If you try to restrict them on the use of the phone or dating, this is trouble with girls that are 14 or 12 that want to start to date. They want to go out with a 20-year-old man, which is really too old for that relationship. I just think it's best that the kids 18 under 18 have to say what the parents lay down the laws. You are responsible for them. So, and I hear you have your other half in the background, which is fine. I'm glad he's listening. I'd like to help you out both. Yeah, I'd like to help you out both there. So why don't we do this? It's already for me to close down my show. In fact, I was just putting up Doge, which is um, the agency that helps out people if they can't get help at the county level, at the state level, and have to go to the federal government. Doge is the person to go to. But I'm going to have a short video right at the conclusion of my show. So I want to thank you for calling in um, from um,
okay.
from Illinois. Yes, please do. And you can come in, um, listen to my show at 10. And a little after that, I'll put my number up. You can call that number, okay? You have my number. You have your number in my phone, in your phone. You have my number, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, both of you, and God bless you. I want to thank Queen from Indiana. I want to thank Justin John from New York, who's Cassandra, Tony the Tiger. I want to thank Lorado from South Africa, who has not been in for a while. That's like the third or fourth person from South Africa. I want to thank I'm Hear You, who is Andrea from Illinois, another one from Illinois. Justin John is from New York, Tony the Tiger. We have Queen. We have Justin John. Let me see if I left anybody else out here. Oh, Bartley, Lisa Bartley from Montana. I cannot forget you. I want to thank you for touching base and coming in here. And I think I've gotten everybody. I'm going through the list of people that have text messages here. Oh, I can't forget Erin from Tennessee. She came in the early part of the room. I hear you, Erin. I'm so glad that you did. Yes, she came in very early. Erin did. And I'm so glad to see you, Erin. And Christina Reynoso, I can't forget you. You were the first, and you talked to me several times today. I'm glad to see you, Christina Reynoso. And thank you for what you sent me today. That was really sweet of you. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Please watch the video, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Good night. And
a vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges. Another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith in this. We are the